That's 210-900-0400 or a lawyerforus.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Texas A&M Aggies are looking for a new head coach as Buzz Williams has left Aggie land to sign a 6-year deal to become the new head coach for the Maryland Terrapins. Texas Longhorns and their new head coach, Sean Miller, well, he has his first commitment as he landed his former player from Xavier, Dylan Swain, in the transfer portal. While the San Antonio Spurs return to action tonight against the Orlando Magic with the NBA's Western Conference Rookie of the Month, Stephon Castle.
CureSearch.org. You're not as alone as you feel.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge. What's up, Danger? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me. However you may be joining me, whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial, sasportstar.com if you are listening via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you are watching online, that's right, we stream all of our shows live on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star, go ahead, like, subscribe. You can comment along with the show as it happens, or just feel free to call in at any point in time, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. And there is a lot of conversation to get to, especially when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys and Micah Parsons. But all of this is happening over at the NFL owners' meetings. And earlier this morning, Rob and AJ were talking about some of those rule changes coming down the pipe from the NFL league offices.
The other potential rule change is the one that's been talked about the most, is the tush-push rule. That's scheduled to be voted on today. We'll find out. Apparently, it's receiving more momentum.
Well, I think it was one of those things. Nobody wanted to be the one to take the fire, but everybody was willing to get in the fight.
Yeah.
Once the first guy fell.
I mean, the fact that the Bills came out and said they're fine moving on with it, and they used the plays more than anyone in the league besides the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I get it. Baseball's willing recently to change. Basketball's always been willing to kind of like this weird James Harden 3-step sideways. It's kind of different. It's new, but it's still within the rules. We're down. The NFL has always been the one that goes, it's going to take a lot to turn this battleship. But this one seems it's so difficult to justify saying no, other than, no, it's just not fair. Well, and that just doesn't feed the bulldog most of the time.
But again, there's no other part of the game where this is allowed. Like we talk all the time about the special teams. Like you're not allowed to vault or push or anything like that.
I get it, but there is the point of view that if you don't like it, stop it. I mean, if you don't like this, you can go and find yourself some 400-pound interior lineman and defense it if you choose. We were talking in the break. I said, this was kind of a man meets moment kind of thing. I mean, there's not a lot of quarterbacks out there that squat 1,000 pounds like Jalen Hurts does. Yeah. And they didn't have not everybody has the interior offensive line that's capable of doing those kind of things. So it was a perfect storm, and that's not going to last. And like you said, if it was just Buffalo doing it, which hasn't been nearly as successful, but has been successful, I don't think we'd even be talking about it.
I think, again, if it's the problem that I think people have with it is, and I don't really care one way or the other.
Well, it's unstoppable. Let's not kid ourselves. It is the most difficult
certainly
thing.
Hard to stop. But if all the stuff they say on special teams, like you can't do this vaulting and leaping stuff because it's about player safety. Well, I mean, that play does not seem like it's about player safety because it's a guy being pushed against his.
Well, I mean, I get the idea that we use that as a cover, but player safety means absolutely nothing.
but you can't say this rule's in place because of player
Oh
safety.
no, I mean, but use
on
that as
special teams, but not on
right.
offense.
Yeah, I mean, to use it as justification, that's the wrong way to go. Just be honest about it. Look, it's indefensible, and quite frankly, it's not fair. It's just you're right. You're better at it than anybody else is, and it's so good. You know, we're going to have to change the rules. It's happened in other sports. We've put in a zone in the NBA because they couldn't stop Shaq, and we're going to just not let you do this because we can't stop it. It creates an imbalance.
I also don't. I mean, all it would take is one guy getting a little low and blowing out Jalen Hurts' knee,
and then they
wouldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, just because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
So I get it. I'm not mad that it's going away, and I'm not mad at the people that were mad at it. It's just I get the idea that this is not stoppable, and it has created an imbalance.
The other potential rule changes that are up for discussion today, the touchback on kickoffs to the 35-yard line.
See, we talk about player safety, and then we do this. I mean, they changed this weird kickoff thing that if you do touch back, it's this, and you got to run it out. And now they're forcing you to run it out even more. I mean, how many times are we going to screw with the kickoff before we just decide this isn't part of the game anymore?
Just start at the 25.
We're not going to do this.
Let's
anymore.
eliminate kickoffs altogether.
I mean, we can keep messing with it. How many years in a row have we tried something with a kickoff? Now we're trying something else.
I swear, I really think if it weren't for the opening kickoff of the game being like something that we fundamentally like picture happening, like because we have to have that, they're going to keep doing kickoffs where it makes a lot of sense to just start the ball at the 25.
And if you want, I mean, we've heard the answer. If you want to try it like an onside kick, you get the ball 4th and 15. It's your shot, just like an onside kick would be your shot. You get the ball, you don't make it, the other team gets the ball at the 40 on the other side or something like that. But you still have the chance, and maybe it's only the last 2 minutes. We're beating a dead horse here. We keep trying to fix something that it's either perfectly imperfect in the old style, or let's just not do it again. These are lateral
because
movements.
I can't tell you. I don't know what the answer is, but I guess they're just trying to tinker until they find something they feel works.
I'm fine.
Because quite honestly, I didn't like what they did. I don't like the new kickoff thing. I don't like the idea that you can't do a surprise onside kick.
Yeah, that's the point.
So there's a lot of like saying, hey, we're going to do an onside kick kind of takes away a lot of the.
It does. So just the same thing would be, all right, 4th and 15, do your best.
Yeah.
And if you want to tinker with it, this is where your opportunity NFL and UFL are. If one can foster the growth of the other. Both of these leagues can exist if, in fact, they decide to work together. The UFL should be where they're playing with all this.
Omar says, so the Bills ran the play, then weren't successful, then votes to ban it. Everyone can run the play. Nobody's gotten hurt. Stop because the team has the players to run it and good at it. Stop it.
That's a valid point.
But the Bills were successful with it. The Bills ran it, more than anybody besides the Eagles, and they used it pretty effectively. But
who said this? Who was this?
Omar said that.
Omar, you're right. Omar, you are on the side of what is traditional. Hey, man,
it's open.
Somebody was smart enough to come up with a better widget. You have to stop the widget. And that's what the NFL has always been. And to change it fundamentally with a rule just seems wrong to me. But I get it.
The only reason it doesn't to me is because they changed the rule before the tush push existed that you can't do it.
I agree. There used to be
special teams. It's like you're just not. You weren't allowed to do it. And now they said now on special teams you can't push off of your teammates. And they said, well, they didn't say on offense. And they said, well, let's do it. And they're like, no, we meant. What they're trying to do is say we meant everywhere. But
I agree. But it is the job of coaches to push the envelope and find the flaw, find the glitch. And I get the push, and I get that. Yes, you did it better than anybody ever did. And there's really nothing that we can find other than enforcing the letter of a law and sort of the intent to change it. Other than you're too good at it.
An Eagles fan is going to be pissed about it, just like when the NBA started allowing zone.
Yeah,
if you're the Magic, you're like, wait a minute.
So I can shoot from out here?
No, but the Magic are saying, you took away what we do best.
Right.
Why? How's that fair to us? And
you're right.
Any rule change is going to hurt somebody.
So I don't think anybody is mad at it. I don't like the whatabouts. It's just it changed the game. You now have a 4-down clock, and most teams operate on a 3-down clock.
Look, there are a lot of things about the NFL rules changes, and the tush push has been pushed. They will not make a ruling on that this week. They are likely tabling that discussion until They're thinking May, but nothing definitive as of yet. The kickoff rule, it did change. The kickoff rule changed, and touchbacks now go out to the 35-yard lines. They're also authorizing replay assists and changing the overtime to where each team will possess the ball. But if we're going to get up in arms about the tush push, and I understand it, there are some other rule changes that need to happen, because guess what? One team's better at it than everybody else. We might as well make a rule change that makes Lamar Jackson running the ball illegal, because he's the only one that can do it as well as he does. Mahomes in the 2-minute drill. Let's go ahead and outlaw that. That's become really, really good. Micah Parsons as a pass rusher. Let's not allow him to rush the passer anymore. He's just better at it than everybody else. Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. I don't think they should be receivers anymore. They're too damn good. They're always open. And let's also, while we're talking about receivers, eliminate Mike Evans in the red zone. He's just too damn good at it. I fundamentally have a problem with altering a rule just because one team found out a perfect way to execute something. And even then, I've seen them get stopped. They're not perfect. They're not 100%. They're just really, really good at it. And I am waiting for the point where they go into the tush push and turn that into a fake pass and just alter that thing up some. At some point, football is about man-on-man, stop this guy. At its core, that's what football is. Man-on-man, stop this guy. Whether it's a receiver in front of you as a defensive back, or you're throwing a safety over the top like they did with Randy Moss, find a way to stop it. The NFL has to find a way to stop what the Eagles are doing and not cry that they can't stop a certain play that gets you about a yard or two. And we're really complaining about a yard or two. A team that gets into a 3rd and 1 or a 4th and 1 and can pick it up. Most fans, we believe if you are in 3rd and 1, you should get 4th down 100% of the time anyway. So the rest of the league needs to figure something out, because the Eagles are just out executing teams. They're not doing anything better than other teams. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. When we come back, your phone calls, plus Micah Parsons contract talks. Are the Cowboys close? Well, some say yes, some say no. We'll discuss coming up right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
The Valero Texas Open is a can't-miss event. Here's your chance to enjoy food, drinks, and the world's best PGA Tour pros as they tee it up at TPC San Antonio. You won't want to miss the next defining, unexpected, and winning moments at the Valero Texas Open. Proceeds help us continue a long-standing tradition of giving back to our community. Buy tickets on ValeroTexasOpen.com and join us April 3rd through the 6th.
Folks, right now is the ideal time to get ready for the summer season with the Quarter Moon AC $58.99 preseason special. It's a real home run. You'll have your AC ready before the summer heat hits. We'll inspect your AC's indoor and outdoor coils, filters, temperature levels, and make sure you're ready for the summer heat, all just for $58.99. So when your AC is warming up, Quarter Moon comes in like a heavy hitter.
Hey, batter, I'm going to give it some heat.
651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Doug. Quickly move. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Okay. Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147 or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Hear that? It's SpringFest savings calling your name. Only at Lowe's. Right now, get a free Select Ego 56-volt battery when you buy a Select Ego trimmer, blower, or mower. Plus, get your choice of any 2 bags of Miracle-Gro organic soil mix for only $16. Shop these can't-miss deals in-store or online today. Lowe's. We help. You save. Valid through 4/2. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Excludes Hawaii.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pledger. You can follow me on Instagram, X, all that good stuff, at I am Pledger. You can follow the station at SA Sports Star on all social media platforms. And we've been talking about the rule changes, specifically the tush push, which has been tabled until a later date, likely when they reconvene in May, maybe even later. But I said we'd take your phone calls, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Raymond called in. What's up, Raymond?
What's going on, Pledge? Great show, man. Thanks for everything. Yeah, man, about the tush push. So some of the stuff I've been watching, it's not so much the play. it's the rule change of letting defensive players push each other. That tush push is 3 or 4 players all pushing, synchrony and planned out in practice. And so that's why it's unstoppable. But I was looking while waiting. And so Article 4 of the rule says something about they can't throw their body against a teammate to aid him in attempt to obstruct an opponent or to recover the ball. So that, I think that's what they need to go over. But yeah, just on the rule. And plus I'm a Cowboys fan, so anything to hurt the Eagles, let's go, baby.
For sure. But I mean,
but it is kind of a dumb rule. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like a good defense, they would have figured it out already if it was a legal play to do what they wanted to do, And I don't know. There's got to be, you know what I mean? It's just, that play can't be the most genius thing ever designed in football.
It's not the most genius design thing ever in football, but do we all agree with pretty much consensus the Eagles have one of the best offensive lines and offensive line coaches in the NFL?
No, absolutely. And that's not even a Cowboys fan. You have to admit that. I mean, they're awesome. But why didn't
when you've got 1 yard to get with the consensus best back and the consensus best offensive line and one of the best quarterbacks just to do a sneak period just because of the way that he's built, like why wouldn't they have a high success rate in short yardage situations?
For sure. Yeah, no, you're right. Don't forget Jalen Hurts can squat like 650 or something.
Exactly.
So, but this is, I'll end it on this. So one of the best offensive lines, even Cowboy fan or not, was the Cowboys, right?
Sure.
I mean,
of all time,
day, right? So that's what I mean. Like, why wouldn't another team that good have ever ran that play if it was, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. It's a weird play. Something's like, I don't know. They got to change. There's got to be an issue on why teams can't stop it because there's been better offensive lines.
I mean, I understand it and I understand the ruling of you can't push or pull, but we see all the time, whether it's defenders, whether it is people running back an interception, whether it's offensive linemen, that I've seen offensive linemen literally drag someone forward with them towards the end zone. You're not technically supposed to be able to do that. They just let it go.
Yeah, it does look cool.
I mean, there are so many things. And I mean, look at, you would think that Buffalo would also be really good when they lined up to do the tush push when you have a quarterback like a Josh Allen. But we saw the Chiefs stop them 3 times in the AFC title game.
Well, for sure. I mean, even bring it back to the statue himself. I mean, look at Brady's percentage on.
Oh, his quarterback sneak record was impeccable.
It was unbeatable. You know what I mean? So yeah, it is. That play is just.
I think we're lost in the sauce when you think about it, Raymond, of the way the play looks versus just they're really good in short yardage because of that line and their quarterback.
No, I'd be an idiot to not agree with that for sure. It is aesthetically an ugly play, and they make it, I don't know. Yeah, it's weird though because they're pro offense and how you going to make an offensive play illegal? It's a weird one.
I hate it because everybody tries to find a way to, and they're making things up like, well, it's injuries. Well, nobody's ever injured on that play. And you say you're still waiting on the stats on something like this, or like, it's not the way football's supposed to be played. That's exactly how it was played when football just started. It is the purest football play, you could argue.
Yeah.
So
nowadays we want to see Tyreek Hill break one off. We don't want to see these dudes win the Super Bowl, just never punting.
It's
I don't know.
Just
man.
really funny to me though that we've gotten to this point with this play where nobody wants it to pass, but nobody has a valid reason not to have it other than they're just better at it than anybody. And if you said that, maybe I'd agree with you, but then I'd say, hey, while we're at it, can we stop Lamar Jackson from running the football because he's really good at that and we can't stop it.
Yeah. Yeah. But watching Lamar is fun. Watching the tush push sucks unless you're Eagles fan.
I get it, my man. Thanks for the phone call, Raymond.
Hey, thanks for the conversation, Les.
Oh man, look, this is really it's a great conversation to have, because it's like, what is the line? Why are we at this point when it comes to the tush push? And there are so many things that we could offer up as to potential reasons to ban it. And I think probably the most realistic one would be to just disallow pushing defensively, offensively, like to shove another player forward. I think that is a good way to get rid of it without having to get rid of it, but you're getting rid of it across the board. And that includes offensive linemen push or pulling a running back into the actual end zone when it gets close to the end, when they get close. If you can't stop it, you can't stop it. And I think it's beholden among defensive players to figure out a way to stop it. There is a defensive lineman in Florida that looks like the tush push stopper. If you would have asked me, this dude is like, 430, 6'5", 6'6". I mean, he is a massive human being that you could plug right in the middle of a defense and be like, all right, run it on this. But it's always very interesting to me to kind of figure it out on where we are with different instruments when it comes to the tush push, and whether it's a play that we should, because whether they run it a lot or a little, they're running it from 1 yard. And most teams with great offensive lines and great running backs and great rushing quarterbacks that are good at quarterback sneaking can get a yard if given 2 opportunities from 1 yard. I think that this one just looks differently, so we have an issue with it because they are so good at something. And it's the execution that we have an issue with in terms of just them being better at it than everyone else. Because look at Jalen Hurts. He gets low, he gets under, and he goes through. The reason Josh Allen got stopped in the AFC playoff games, because he kept going high. And I get it. He's like 6'7". He is a big dude. Getting low for him is a lot tougher than someone who is like 6'1". I don't know. What say you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledge. What's going on?
Hey, you know what? I completely agree with you. To me personally, I feel like this isn't even an attack on the play itself, because here's the thing. It's not an unstoppable play. It's been stopped, just like you said. Josh Allen couldn't do it. I think this is now a personal attack. I mean, obviously not personal, but I think this is a direct attack on the Philadelphia Eagles, because nobody wants to see you succeed at that play 99% of the time. And the Eagles do it better than everybody else. People have tried to say, oh, you know what, we're going to try it ourselves. And they haven't been able to perfect it. So now, because no one else can do it, you know what, we should outlaw it. It should really be a rule. No, I think the rule change needs to be, hey, because I was having a debate with my buddy about this literally 2 months ago, because he was telling me, you know what, I did hear that there was a rule that the defense, they can't do the same thing. And it's like, okay, well, cool. Let's make it to where defense has a fighting chance.
Yeah.
Let's take that rule out, and because me personally, I feel like I played football all my life. Now I'm a professional boxer, but I played football all my life. And when I played football, it was, we're running the ball. We're straight down the middle. I think the NFL has gone more so to a passing first league. So that's why it's easier for this specific play to kind of be on the outliers of, you know what, maybe this should be a conversation.
And it's because it looks different. Optically, it's just different, but it's accomplishing the same goal as a normal quarterback sneak would.
Exactly. Honestly, I think it goes back to this is literally just rumble tumble football. This is literally these guys. Because I mean, you ask Jason Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
He hated the play, but it was a hard work play. That's why he hated it. He hated it because they had to grit to get that ball in there. It's literally just these guys have figured out how to line up in formation better than your guys, and they've decided that they're going to want it more than you. Because here's the thing, too. The Philadelphia Eagles have even been stopped on the tush push.
They have.
It's not 100%. You're just mad because you don't know how to figure it out. It's the same thing as if I'm playing in Madden and somebody's doing a little quick drag route.
Keeps playing the same thing over and over again, those mesh routes.
Exactly. It's like, okay, I could get mad at you for spamming the same play, but at the same time, it's not against the rules. Isn't it my job to figure out the play to fix that?
Absolutely. Why? If you keep getting hit in the face as a boxer, doesn't it behoove you to get your hands up?
Exactly. I'm trying to tell you. If you're getting hit with the same punch, at a certain point, this is your fault, my dude. At a certain point, either you like getting hit or you're just not that smart. Because I would move my head or put my hands up or something. But the exact same punch, these guys are getting the same play ran on them. And you're telling me that nobody in the National Football League, none of the head coaches on the National Football League can figure out how to arrange their players to combat this? I think the only way that makes sense is there's a rule that is not allowing them to do it. I would rather see the defensive rule be lifted and then be able to push their players just like the offensive players are able to push them.
Sure.
I don't want to see the push taken away. I say let's even the playing field and let's play ball.
Appreciate the phone call, my man.
Wow.
Man, he's right. Level the playing field. If that's your reasoning for getting rid of it, defense can't do it, we're not going to let the offense do it, fine. But I also don't want to see it when we get near the goal line and you start seeing offensive linemen push a running back into the end zone because he gets stood up by a linebacker. At that point, that's got to go too. It's all or nothing. You can't be selective and just be like, well, it's just this formation. We don't like it. They're really good at it and nobody else is good at it. No. If you're going to outlaw the tush push, get rid of all of the pushing. All of the pushing, all of the pulling, all the players. Make football about man on man at that point. I don't know. What say you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. What does Micah have to say about a new contract? Or better yet, what does Jerry have to say about Micah and a potential new contract? Well, he spoke today out at the owners' meetings, and Jason and Joe, well, they had quite the time with what Jerry had to say while he was down there. We'll break it down next right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Spring is here, and in South Texas, that means storms, wind, rain, and hail. If you've been hit by a storm or think you have damage, now is the time to contact Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Don't put your trust in an out-of-town storm chaser. Stevens Roofing is a family-owned, locally based company who will be here for years to come. The team at Stevens Roofing and Solar will give you peace of mind when the storms come rolling in. Call 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
Springtime is here and baseball season is finally underway. Don't miss your chance to add your favorite players from the diamond to your Prize Picks lineup. Whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, first inning runs, you can take your pick of more or less for your shot of 1,000 times your money cash today. I'll say it again. That's today. Because on Prize Picks, you can match your player projections from different sports. Combine your favorite baseball players with your favorite basketball players. Maybe it's hockey. Maybe it's esports. Maybe it's something else. That's why you download Prize Picks. And what you do with Prize Picks is you win. $50 instantly. Go download the app today and use the code Alamo. That's Alamo to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. I'll say it again. Download the app right now. Use the code Alamo. That's $50 instantly. Just play your lineup. Prize Picks. Hey, go run your game. I love Prize Picks because I'm not alone. There's millions of us playing, and you can win. It's easy. More or less. You better go run your game now.
Ever feel like everything in life is moving at hyperspeed? Slow things down with the all-new Nissan Murano, an unapologetic refuge amidst the daily hustle and bustle. Re-energize with massaging leather-appointed seats to melt away the tension of a busy day. Escape into your favorite music with a Bose premium sound system, or set the vibe with ambient mood lighting. Because sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Check out the all-new Nissan Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof, ambient lighting, and massaging leather-appointed seats are optional features.
Tragically, recent data reveals that 40% of women in Texas will experience intimate partner violence. Christie's Hope is dedicated to breaking the cycle of domestic violence by providing shelter, healing, and counseling, and empowering survivors to take their first steps towards lasting safety and independence. Thomas J. Henry stands with us in our commitment to end domestic violence. Donate today at christieshope.org.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
San Antonio, are you ready? The 2025 NCAA Men's Final Four is coming to the Alamo City. The NCAA Men's Final Four Fan Fest, presented by Capital One, brings fun for all ages. Fan Fest is a sports wonderland of interactive games with celebrity and athlete appearances, giveaways, and much more. Come ready to play April 4th through the 7th at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. The event is free for kids 12 and under, Capital One card holders, military personnel, and 2025 Final Four ticket holders. Visit ncaa.com/men's final four.
Guys over 40, tired of feeling tired? Testosterone therapy by Synergenics is the answer. This April, the consultation is free. Treatment covered by most major insurance. Don't wait for online meds. Walk into their clinic, see a provider, feel great today. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author and executive producer of the award-winning documentary called The Retirement Deception. In this film, we traveled over 20,000 miles interviewing real Americans who've retired successfully with a great lifestyle and peace of mind. They share their stories on how they get more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and the money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even the super wealthy are shifting money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money saved, call to talk to a specialist and get a free copy of this brand new film at 1-800-689-4242. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. So don't delay. Call right now, 1-800-689-4242. That's 1-800-689-4242. Again, 1-800-689-4242.
Cowboys play here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, welcome back to Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com, on YouTube at SA Sports Star. Go ahead and like, subscribe, comment along with the show, or feel free to call in 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Lots of great stuff going on at the owners' meetings, and today we got to finally hear from Jerry Jones. And Jerry Jones, well, he couldn't help himself. He had to talk about Micah Parsons and the contract. And it sounded great. Everything started off great this morning as he was talking about it. But now there's wonder if maybe some damage may have been done. The Blitz was talking about this earlier today. Micah, Jerry, and, well, his agent, who, according to Jerry, shall remain nameless.
We're at the typical stage of contract negotiation with Jerry Jones on a major deal. It truly is rinse, wash, repeat. And Jerry doesn't give a damn. And that was obvious today. Now, let's start with all of it. There was a report early this morning from Clarence Hill, All City, Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
A guy that you can trust when it comes to Cowboy news.
Yes.
One of the best on the Cowboys beat.
Yes.
His report said they are close to a deal, that Jerry and Micah have worked this out together. David Mulligetta not involved, but Micah won't sign it until David Mulligetta goes over it. Then Jerry, he talks to the media today, and he's like, yeah, I'm negotiating with Micah Parsons.
Well, I know that I've spent 5-6 hours with him myself and had a lot of discussions. Most of the issues are in agreement on, and I've discussed it all. But we obviously don't have an agreement relative to a new contract. Michael's under contract, and so we'll see how that goes. It's not uncommon for me to visit directly with players, and in this particular case, that's the way I'm doing it.
You know, that leads me to believe, does Jerry have some bad blood with David Mulligetta?
You know, I'm trying to think of what other Mulligetta clients have been on the Cowboys. And of big name guys, I can't think of one. That doesn't mean it's not there. But we know that, like Zach Martin did his own deals. Other guys have done their own deals. You get guys like Dak Prescott, has his agent do everything. Just tell me when it's done. I don't need to get into knowing how the sausage is made. So you hear that. That does go right in line with what we saw reported early this morning from Clarence Hill.
Yep.
And then Jerry was asked about it. You know, you guys don't even include the agent in some of these?
Are you kidding me? That's just not something that you should worry about. You should be worrying about your ability to make it work, and you should be worried about what the player does. Does he have good enough health? Does he have enough skill to do what you're paying him the money for? The agent is not a factor here, or something to worry about. And I don't know his name.
What?
And so my point is that I'm not trying to demean you in any way, but this isn't about an agent. The agent doesn't have one thing to do with what we're doing when we get on a football field against a team. Micah does. To the degree I'm involved, I do. The people that have something to do with what we do going forward relative to our fans in football are me and the player, not the agent. And I'm not demeaning the agent. I'm just saying anybody can do this, and that's talk directly to a player. And frankly, most people that negotiate me will tell you that they were better off than negotiating with anybody, Stephen or anybody involved. So this is not uncommon. I've wished directly with as far back as Emmett, Dion, and we, by the way, maintained a relationship that lasted well after their playing days.
I don't even know his name.
Yeah, that's not demeaning at all, Jerry. Don't worry about that. Look, I know Micah and Jerry get along. Jerry gets along with most of the players. He's really good at that. But to say that about the guy's agent, because now all you did was piss Micah off. I mean, it's what it sounds like anyway. We haven't heard directly from Micah except for a tweet.
Yep.
And it sounds like he's well, I mean, calling Jerry, I wouldn't say liar. That's a little harsh, but calling him a liar.
Read the tweet.
Says facts. David is the best, and I will not be doing any deal without @David Mulligetta involved. Like everyone else with good sense, I hire experts for a reason. There is no one I trust when it comes to negotiating contracts other than David. There will be no back doors in this contract negotiation.
Now, he's not really calling Jerry a liar.
No, he is. When you look at it, there will be no back door. So, in other words, I'm not talking to Jerry and we're going to make a deal and just bring in Mulligetta at that point in time, which is what Jerry is suggesting.
You know, yes and no. Like, I see this tweet. I go with the report that we saw from Clarence Hill. Micah is negotiating this deal, but will not sign it without Mulligetta going over it. So when you read the tweet, I'm not doing any deal without David Mulligetta. That does back up the reporting from Clarence Hill. There will be no back doors in this contract negotiation. You could take that a variety of ways, but it also tells me that without David, like, I'm not letting Jerry slip something into this contract without me knowing, and that's what Mulligetta is there to find. I mean, Jerry doesn't go on and on and on like he did today without there being some truth to it. I mean, you think about 5-6 hours of negotiations that they have had, Micah and Jerry directly, according to Jerry. You think about what Steven has said about Micah likes to meet. Hell, Jerry said Mike asked for a cell phone number, and there's not many people that actually have Jerry's cell phone number. Call anytime.
All of that's great, but read the tweet.
Mm-hmm.
He says, when it comes to negotiating contracts, negotiating, not rereading it and just signing off on it, negotiating contracts, he trusts no one other than David Mulligetta. And there'll be no back doors. That tells me there's no back door that me and Jerry are going to work a deal without Mulligetta involved. Not just to look over the contract. He says negotiations.
Yeah.
So Jerry is not telling the truth, or Micah has changed his mind. One of the two. Jory Epstein of Yahoo Sports tweeted out, multiple sources confirmed to me that Micah Parsons asked Stephen and Jerry Jones to call his agent, David Mulligetta, to negotiate. Sources also confirm that the Joneses have not yet made that call. Jory Epstein is one of the best in the business.
Yet you hear Jerry today, and they talk about having already discussed the financial terms of this thing.
Term, yes. Term, guarantees, money, all those things. We've had a meeting of the minds.
Why have you not had that same meeting of minds with his agent?
Well, I don't know that, it's I'm the one who has to sign the check, and Michael's the one that has to agree to it. So that's the straightest way to get there is the one writing the check and the one agreeing to it talking. And that's the principle that's involved here. And I understand all the other issues, but as you know, it's not uncommon for me to negotiate directly with players. And I've done that. And so we are there. I don't view it as urgent at all. And, some say, well, using the basis that the earlier you get something done, the cheaper. Well, the earlier you get something done, a lot of times the more mistakes you make. And you might want to see a few more cards played, not just with that particular negotiation, but with the whole team. And so I know I'm kind of being a little defensive here, but the idea that the only success is getting a contract done at an early time is incorrect. And I'd rather pay more and get it right.
And that's what he's done with the other two. Look, somebody here is not telling the whole story. They would call them lying, not telling the truth, whatever. You can word it however you want to. But either Micah is backing off what he told Jerry in private with their discussions, or Jerry is just not being truthful.
It's very, very interesting to see how this is going to play out, especially the last one where they were talking about no urgency to get this deal done. And the fact that he doesn't mind waiting on the contract, he'd rather pay and get it right. It's very, very interesting what he just said. And it's also very interesting. He keeps trying to do all of these deals without his actual representation there with him. And most players he wants to do that with. We'll discuss that coming up here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
My name is John. I could not lose the weight I needed to. The Institute for Functional Health Wellness Program was the answer. It included a great deal of testing, supplements, and weekly face-to-face doctor visits. I finally had the accountability I needed. I am now 50 pounds lighter. I no longer have pain in my elbow, back, and hips. I have more energy and just feel and look so much better.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hola, mi esposo se lastimó en un accidente ayer. ¿Me puede ayudar?
Claro que sí. Estamos aquí para servirle.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7. Our team of Texas attorneys has been helping people injured in car, truck, or 18-wheeler wrecks for more than 25 years. And there's no fee unless we win. Y hablamos español. If you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147 or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Hey, fellow Gen Xers, it's Elizabeth Banks. Big news! The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the charge. After all, we gave the world the internet. We're trailblazers. Let's lead the way again because we are at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Head to VaxAssist.com and schedule today. That's VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Ever feel like everything in life is moving at hyperspeed? Slow things down with the all-new Nissan Murano, an unapologetic refuge amidst the daily hustle and bustle. Re-energize with massaging leather-appointed seats to melt away the tension of a busy day. Escape into your favorite music with a Bose premium sound system, or set the vibe with ambient mood lighting. Because sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Check out the all-new Nissan Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof, ambient lighting, and massaging leather-appointed seats are optional features.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
George gets justice. The accident wasn't your fault, but now you're facing pain, bills, and uncertainty. You don't have to do it alone. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, they listen, explain your options, and fight for what you deserve. No upfront costs, no stress, just real help when you need it. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
No two people learn the exact same way.
So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner, so he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at babbel.com, BABBEL.com.
It's Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I appreciate all y'all for riding along with me tonight as we take you up to the top of the hour. And, man, I don't know about y'all, and he said it in his clip, Jerry, talking about loving to deal with the players over their representatives and whatnot. And I get it. But when you talk about like they have nothing to do with the football part of it, you're right. They don't have anything to do with the football part of it. They're looking out for the players' best interest. And no matter what that is, the players' best interest is in their minds, where owners may be trying to take advantage of them. And I feel like Jerry constantly wanting to negotiate without representation feels dirty, like he's trying to get something over on the players, because whether it's sneaking something in, language, whatever it may be, why would you not want his representation there? Why would you not want to deal with him? Why can't all three of you get into a room and hash it out to where Micah would be like, yeah, I like this, this, and this. And then his agent turns to him and goes, yeah, but can we work on this? And this is why. And Jerry can explain his point to both of them. And Micah can look at his agent and goes, you know, maybe not. Maybe I don't need that. Maybe I don't want a no trade clause or whatever the reason may be. But just doing it without your representation feels like you're trying to get one over. And that feels wrong. And as long as you try and keep working around these agents, it makes me feel like you're trying to get over on them. And that is just a perception thing. That is the way of the world. Because if you want to negotiate with players that have never negotiated contracts like this and don't know the ins and outs and how these things work, and you are at a disadvantage then negotiating against someone that knows all the ins and outs of them. So you not wanting to deal with the proper representation makes it feel like you want to deal with people that don't know what they're doing and how to get what's best for them into these contracts. And that is wrong. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure. I am James Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I appreciate everybody for rolling through with me tonight. Coming up, we've got some Amber and Ian coming at you right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM. This has been Extra Innings with Pleasure. Make sure to call, check on your loved ones. You never know what people are going through in life. As a matter of fact, just reach out, let them know you're thinking about them. The slightest, hey, how you doing? Been thinking about you could do a lot more than you realize for somebody. Love y'all. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow here on Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds